I'm so excited to be trying out my first new palette of 2025, which I actually ordered in 2024 around the holidays, and I have been patiently waiting to film it. So I am so excited to finally dig in today. I will be reviewing the Vani Cosmetics Pressed Glitter palette, and I believe I ordered the neutral glitters. We will find out. It's been so long, but it was the neutral palette, I believe, and it's cruelty-free, vegan, non-toxic, made in Canada. Let's go ahead and dive on in. Okay. So we've got some plastic. Let's remove that. I will be recycling that. And here is what the palette looks like. So pretty. Maybe I ordered... Did I order the bestseller, not the neutrals? Looking for my receipt to see if it tells me. No, this is the neutrals. I was wondering if maybe it wasn't neutrals because we do have some pretty bright pops of color in here even for a neutrals palette. But is that right? Oh boy, please hold. I gotta check my phone. Okay, take two. I just wanted to be sure that this was actually the neutrals palette because they did have a best sellers palette that was a little more colorful than this even, but we've got some color in here for neutrals, but I'm not saying I'm mad. I'm just making sure. So it is neutrals. Let's remove this plastic eyeshadow protector and get a look at these. I'm gonna turn down I did turn down the lighting a bit to try to get a more realistic color example for you, but they sure do look beautiful. We've got some nice big pans in here and a good range of colors. We got some neutrals. We got some that I wouldn't consider neutrals myself, but they sure are beautiful. You can see they have some different kind of textures, like this one here has a little bit of like a divot, but it just looks like how it was pressed. Something that I found really interesting about these is that the website says there is a built-in primer and there's no need to use glitter glue. And so with these really glittery type pressed glitter shadows, I would assume you would need some sort of glitter glue or at least a good primer, but this says it's built right in, so we're going to try them today without using any primer. I do have a base of a little like foundation with just a little powder over the top to kind of set the lid, but the lids are bare and ready. Oh gosh, now I'm going to have to decide what color to use. This is a tough decision, but I think I am going to try this one up here right at the top. I think it'll work well with my shirt, plus it's right up closest to me to use. So I'm going to try it, but I think first I am kind of interested in just swatching it and seeing what it looks like swatched. I did bring some different brushes to try to apply it, but this type of formula seems like it might be best with the fingers, but we shall see. So I'm just gonna swatch it. Oh my gosh, it's so soft, but it's buttery. I wasn't expecting it to be quite that soft because I really kind of dug in there, but very soft and buttery. Let's see what the swatch looks like. It feels really smooth to the touch, even with the kind of chunkier looking glitter. It does still feel really smooth. It's almost got like a wet, creamy feel to it, which I assume is kind of that built-in primer. So there is that beautiful pink color swatched out on my arm. Let's turn the light down again so you could get it better. So pretty. Well, now I feel like we should swatch a couple other shades while we're at it. Let's try, I think this silver is really pretty, and it's kind of more blue silver. It's a feeling like it's a little tiny more chunky, a little bit more chunky than the first one. but maybe not. Let's see. It's got the same texture, feel to the touch. This one feels even a little bit grittier to the touch. Not quite as, if I swatch and go over the top of it, it's kind of peeling it away. But if I pat down, it definitely has almost like a sticky Vaseline, like very, very light, like a lip gloss almost texture that you can feel when you're applying it. So I'm assuming that's that built-in primer. So there we have that beautiful, beautiful blue shimmery silver. And then maybe we should do a more colorful one. I'm kind of interested in the black though, which I know is not very colorful, but black glitter seems kind of cool. So let's try that. Where is the black glitter? I apologize for the lighting, which is kind of all over right now. I did unbalance it when I turned this lighting down so we could get a better read. I got the sun coming in here, and I also, just got my camera equipment back out, and I had to completely reset my camera, and so I'm not sure I got all of the functions back up. So I didn't want to not film though, so we're gonna just go with it today. And then see if I swipe back over it, it just wipes it right off. So kind of like an initial swipe and then swipe and pat. So that one doesn't seem to have quite the same effect. It's a little more patchy. It's kind of like a dirty, grungy. Wow, this lighting is awful. So that one was kind of like a dirty, grungy, more like a silver than a black look though, like a dark silver. So that one was not my favorite. But there's a whole bunch in here, right? They're so beautiful. Definitely very glittery. The video lighting is not the best, bear with me. The shades are pretty though, glitter. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to applying some on the eyes and see how we go. I'm going to go back to this bright pink, light pink one here. I'm gonna get a bunch on my finger and I'm going to apply it to the eyelid just with my finger. Ooh, wow. Oh boy. Well, okay, well, I made a huge mess. Okay, so at first I got that huge impact of swiping it on, and I still have it, but it just got a lot all around the eyes, so I would definitely need to clean that up. But the eyelid itself is really beautiful, and it feels nice and smooth on the lid. Maybe it's interesting. In person, it's really beautiful. But on the camera, especially with the current lighting situation, it doesn't really show up very much, at least on my viewfinder. So I'll be really curious when I look at the footage to see how it's showing up. So I wonder if it's just part of the lighting or this shade. So I think just for the heck of it, I'm going to try a different color on the other eye. I'm not going anywhere after this, so only my family has to look at me. I'm going to go with this center golden shade. I'm going to try that. I'm going to use my clean fingers so I don't contaminate it, mess it up. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, I need to check out the website and see if they have different ways that they are applying it rather than just with the finger, because I'm certainly getting a ton of glitter all over and not just on the eyelid, but I'm getting it, down here, all up here. and I would like it to be a little more controlled. So I will have to check that out. For now, I'm just going to see how well I can clean it up with a makeup eraser. Okay, the makeup eraser is not really doing a great job at cleaning up on my face. Didn't get that much off my finger. You can see there's a lot left on. So I'm going to go look for some tape and I will be back. I think I'm going to be like Tinkerbell, leaving a trail of pixie dust wherever I go in the house today. It is just smearing around with the makeup eraser. Even with it wet, my hands are just turning into glitter. Okay, ooh, it's in my hair. I should have watched videos, but I thought I knew how to apply glitter shadow. I can't find our washi tape. My daughter probably took it. I can't find the washi tape, so I am just going to use some Scotch tape. And wow, just getting it on my hands. I'm a huge mess. So already that piece is no good. It's all over my clothes. This is not going well. But I'm just going to use a little bit of this Scotch tape. I want the washi tape because it's not quite as sticky. But I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape to see if I can easily clean up all this fallout. Ooh, ow. All right, a little better on this eye. Still a lot on around my cheek and things like that. Okay, at this point my face just kind of hurts from trying to get all of it off. It's interesting, you can see with the darker shade, it's kind of clumping in certain areas or collecting in certain areas, so it looks kind of darker and chunky. I'm hesitant to try to blend it out with this brush, but I do want to see if I can make it better. It just feels kind of sticky. It's tacky and sticky. I don't think it's really working. Ooh, up close we are looking like a mess now. I have glitter freckles around my eyes. Now I have made a mess and I have glitter everywhere. With the makeup eraser, I just am turning into a statue. I am going to use some makeup remover and oil to see how this goes, to get it off. It's all over my pants and my shirt. I think that what I applied so far, this shade is very pretty. Maybe if I would have put some shadow down in the crease, although I do think it would have just covered it up. And I kind of want to try it with a brush, like a concealer like type brush that's kind of a flatter, pointier, but that can handle liquids or creams. Let's see if I'm going to dip into the pink here and just see if, ooh. Okay. Let me show you. I'm trying to dip in with this brush and it is not picking up any product. It's picking up a couple pieces, like you could touch up with the brush. So touching up, I do think, okay, the touching up helps. So maybe apply with the finger first and then kind of go back over to touch up any bare spots where your fingers can't get, especially if you have long nails like I do right now. And I would try to apply it lower than the crease, and focus more down below the crease and try not to get it up into the crease next time, if at all possible. But you can see, just trying to pick up the brush, it's like I got like 2 flakes of glitter. So this style of brush certainly isn't working. Again, I think I will check out the Vani Cosmetics website and see if they have some instructions or tutorials that I missed, and perhaps I could try it with a primer or a glitter glue and try it again. Maybe if you just used it more as like a topper and didn't go all over the lid, you did kind of like your eyeshadow look and then just topped it off with a little bit of glitter. I think that it would probably look a lot better. So where I stand with this formula is I do think it's a really nice, unique formula. I'm not sold on the fact that you don't need a primer or glitter glue. I don't know about that. You know, this is something that definitely next time I would do my eyes first and then wipe away the excess, use some tape, and then apply makeup. So if you're using the pressed glitter palette like this, definitely apply your eye look first and then go back in and do your makeup. Have some tape on hand to pick up the fallout. And, you know, I wanted to compare it a little bit to the Tati Beauty glitters of her Texture Neutrals Volume 1 palette. I did some swatches of this in my Out the Door in 2024 makeup video, and I said that at the end of this year, at the end of last year, I should discontinue using this palette because it's getting pretty old. But I do think the glitters in this palette have changed over time as well. I don't think the texture is as good and as fresh, but these are really beautiful palettes. And let's say this top shadow is even a similar shade. It doesn't divot so much when I immediately touch it. It's definitely not as wet and creamy, which I thought might actually be more appealing and that the creamy would work better. But I actually think the dryness of this one allows you to apply it a little bit more easily in a concentrated area. So this is the Tati Beauty Textures Neutral in the Poet shade. So if you were to compare that to the first one, I think the first one I did of the Vani Cosmetics was actually an even prettier shade. That's what I do have on my eye. But the Vani Cosmetics has more of an impact, but it's not as easy to apply as the Tati Beauty. As much as I have complained that this palette the Tati Beauty palette gets glitter everywhere, the particles feel, I was gonna say they feel smaller, and maybe they're not. Maybe the glitter's not smaller, but it's just, it feels easier to control in the Tati Beauty. So I was kind of looking at this as the Vani Cosmetics as like a dupe to try to replace the colors, because a lot of these colors in the glitters are in the Vani Cosmetics palette. And so I was hoping for so there are a lot of overlapping shades in the Vani Cosmetics palette and the Tati Beauty palette, but I don't think the formula really is the same, and I do like the glitter formula in here a lot. I would say this formula on the Tati Beauty palette is a little on the chunkier side, and then this is like, chunkier is the wrong word, but it just has it's so pressed, so much glitter that it's hard to control. I'm just getting it everywhere. It's covered in everything. So what I'd love to know is if you have any experience with this Vani Cosmetics pressed glitter palettes, or if you have tried some other pressed glitter palettes that you recommend, have good tips. Let me know how you're using them, how I should try it again. I'm not disappointed in this palette. I'm just thinking that I need to play around a little more and figure it out a little bit better and find a way to make it work in my makeup world because I think it's has a lot of potential, but I don't think I have figured out how to make it work without creating a huge disastrous mess. So thank you for watching this video here with me. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more cruelty-free and vegan makeup content, and I will see you soon in a new video, but until then, take care of yourself.